Hello everyone. Now we are going to discuss fluctuation of energy. What is the meaning of the fluctuation of energy? Okay. The fluctuation of energy may be determined by the turning moment diagram. This is the diagram you can see. This is the turning moment diagram. Okay. So in the diagram you can see there is a rotation of the crank and having the different position that when the crank has 0 degree angle and then it is rotated by 90 degree 180 degree and 220 and completely 360. So this is the 4 pi, that means two rotation of the crank here in the diagram. So we will see how the energy fluctuates according to the angle of the crank rotation. Okay, so here you can see this is the first. When I'm going to consider this a b, this is the curve I'm just considering here, and we know that the area under the curve of the turning moment diagram, and that means it is equal to the work output, or you can say the work done by the flywheel. So here this is the area, you can consider this is the area. So this is the area, you can say that the work done by the engine is equal to the area ABP. Are you getting my point? This is the work done. Actually, we all know that the work done is equal to area under the area under the curve on the turning moment diagram. So this is the basically area, okay, and we call it as the work done by the engine, which is equal to the area ABP. Okay, this is the work done by the engine. This is work done by the system, whereas the energy required is represented by AABP. See here, the flywheel is just to fulfill the energy requirement. Are you getting my point? In the simple way, I am just saying that in the engine, for example, if the engine requirement is energy requirement is 50 kilojoule, okay. If the energy requirement for the engine is 50 kilojoule, but it is getting 20 kilojoule, but it is not sufficient to fulfill this. So we will recover this with using 30 kilojoule from the flywheel. So flywheel is basically to fulfill the energy requirement. Okay, so that's why it reduces the fluctuations. Okay, it reduces the fluctuations. Okay, so this is the area. Actually, this is the work done by the engine, but the energy required but the energy required is represented by this complete area. The energy required, this complete energy required is represented by AABP. This is the energy required. Okay, but work done by the engine is only this. This is the work done by the engine. So this remaining amount of energy we got from the flywheel. Are you getting my point? So this energy is taken from the flywheel. I hope you will understand what I'm going to say. So as you get the energy from the flywheel here, so that's why energy of the flywheel reduce, because in order to fulfill the energy requirement, you will take the energy from the flywheel, because you can say this is the area which is less than the energy requirement. So when you take energy from the flywheel, the speed of the energy get reduces. Okay, so that's why you can say this is the T mean. I already told you one another concept, that when torque is less than T mean, work is done on the system and the crank speed reduces. So I'm just explaining you why the speed reduces, because here you see once again, here I'm just explaining this. This is the area you can see. So we know that the area under the turning moment diagram is equal to work done. So this is the work done by the engine. This is the work done by the engine, but the energy required is represented by AABP. This complete area is the energy required. This amount of energy we require, but engine is developing only this work. Okay, engine is developing this power, you can say engine is doing this work. So remaining amount of energy we will taken from the flywheel. we will take from the flywheel. This remaining amount of energy will take from the flywheel. So as you get some energy from the flywheel, the speed of the flywheel reduces. Okay, the speed of the flywheel reduces. So now the crank move from P to Q. Now the crank position is P. Okay, A to P, the crank position. We have discussed about the A to P position of the crank. Now we will discuss about the positioning of the crank from P to Q. In the P to Q, from the positioning of the crank from P to Q, the work done by the engine is equal to the area P, B, B. This is the complete area CQ. Okay, this is the work done by the engine. Are you getting my point? This is the work done by the engine. This is the work done by the engine. But requirement of the energy is represented by this. But the requirement of energy is less as compared to the energy which is developing by the engine. So we require only this amount of energy, but actually engine is developing more than requirement energy. Okay, so suppose for example, if the requirement is 50 kilojoule, but engine is developing 100 kilojoule, or you can say engine is developing 70 kilojoule. So that means it is developing 20 kilojoule extra. Yes or no? It is developing energy. It is doing work 20 kilojoule extra. Okay, so we need to store it because only we require that is 50 kilojoule, so we have to store this 20 kilojoule of work in the flywheel. So as this energy is going to be stored in the flywheel, the speed of the flywheel increases. So that's why I already told you when T is greater than T mean, because we know this is the T mean line. So you can say this is the above area of the T mean line. So when the torque is greater than the T mean, that means the work done by the system, or you can say the work done by the flywheel, and you can say this is the speed of the crank speed increases, because we are going to store excess energy to the flywheel. Are you getting my point? We are going to store excess energy to the flywheel. So the engine has more work than the requirements. So the excess work is stored in the flywheel, hence the speed of the flywheel increases while the crank moves from P to Q. Okay. Now in the third case, when the crank moves from Q to R, when the crank moves from Q to R, actually crank is moving continuously. It is in rotation continuously. So we are dividing the motion of the crank in order to understand it completely. Now in this section you can say this is the energy requirement. This amount of energy we require, but engine is developing only this amount of energy because the graph of the turning moment is this. So the area under the turning moment diagram would be the work done by the engine. Here you can see this is the engine work. So you can see there is a requirement which is more than that developed by the engine. Okay, so here the crank move from Q to R, here crank move from Q to R, so more work is taken from the engine than is developed. Are you getting my point? So the loss of work is represented by the CCD. This is the loss of work. Are you getting my point? This is the loss of work actually. This is the loss of work. Okay, if this is a loss of work, so we have to supply this loss. Okay, we have to recover this loss. So to supply this loss, the flywheel gives up some of its energy, and thus speed decreases, because we are getting some energy from the flywheel. Here the requirement is more than as compared to developing energy. So that's why we need to supply energy from the flywheel. So as you get some energy from the flywheel, the speed of the flywheel gets reduced. Okay, so that's why speed decreases while crank move from Q to R. Next section, as the crank move from R to S, as the crank move from R to X, there will be excess energy again. Yes or no? This would be the excess energy. So the similar procedure will be done. Okay, so the variation of the energy we have, this is the T mean line. Okay, so the variation of the energy above and below mean resisting torque line is called the fluctuation of energy. This is basically the fluctuations of the energy. Here is the energy is higher, where here is the below the T mean line there is energy which can be lower. So here I can say that the variation of the energy, I'm writing here the variation of the energy. So the variation of, you can write it, so the variation of energy above and below T mean line, T mean line are called, are called fluctuations of energy, fluctuations of energy. Are you getting my point? So this is the fluctuations of energy. And if you want to know what is the fluctuations in the diagram, so I will let you know the fluctuations of the energy in the diagram. So here you can see this is the fluctuations. This is the fluctuation, and this is the fluctuation, and this is the fluctuations of the energy. Okay. So there are a number of speeds you can see here in the complete rotation of the crank. So when you install the flywheel, so I'm just writing, you can write here, even after installing, even after installing the flywheel, installing the, even after installing the flywheel, there will be a number of speeds, yes or no? So if there are a minimum, if you have to consider minimum speed, if there are a number of speeds that can be n minimum 1 and minimum 2, this is for numerical purpose. You must understand how to select the minimum. If there are a number of speeds, you have to select the minimum, okay, out of them. So you have to select the minimum. So I have selected, for example, I have selected n minimum, whatever be the value. Now you have to select the maximum value, because we want to calculate the fluctuations of the energy. So we will calculate maximum fluctuation of energy. So this is n max. First you have to select maximum and the minimum speed, and maximum to, like that. So from here you can withdraw n maximum, that is the maximum speed, any one of them can be maximum. Okay. So basically what is the fluctuation of energy? Fluctuation of energy is nothing but the, I'm just writing here, fluctuation of energy, fluctuation of energy is basically equal to n max minus n minimum. This is the basically fluctuations of the energy. Okay, this is the fluctuations of energy left. Okay, you can see. So if I'm going to write that n maximum minus n minimum, that it would be fluctuation, that would be fluctuations left. Okay, so this is the n max minus n minimum is equal to fluctuations left. So if you want to calculate the coefficient of fluctuations of the speed for the flywheel, so how can you calculate? So I'm just calculating here, what is the formula for coefficient of fluctuation, coefficient of fluctuation of speed, that would be equal to, that is the coefficient of fluctuation of speed for the flywheel, for the flywheel, that can be represented as Cs. Are you getting my point? It is represented as Cs. So you can write the formula for coefficient of fluctuation of the speed for the flywheel, that is Cs is equal to n maximum minus n minimum upon n, where n is nothing but the mean speed, where n is denoted as mean speed. This is the mean speed. Okay, and Cs value, this is the coefficient of fluctuation of speed. Okay, we will discuss coefficient of fluctuation of energy in another term, but this is the coefficient of fluctuation of the speed represented as Cs. So if, for example, if Cs, in the question it is given that if Cs is equal to 2%, so how can you write Cs? You have to write in fractions. you have to remove this percent sign, so you will get 0.02. If Cs is equal to plus minus 2%, how can you write that? Total fluctuations will be 4%, so you can write 0.04. Okay, or you can say this is 4%. Now the another term you must remember, that don't be confused it with the coefficient of fluctuation of energy. This is the new term, coefficient of fluctuation of energy. It is represented as Ce. So the formula of coefficient of fluctuation of energy for the flywheel, Ce, is equal to E maximum. These two formulas you must remember. Okay, in the numerical we will use these formulas. E maximum minus E minimum upon W cycle. W cycle. Okay. So if in the sometimes in the questions they will not ask you the coefficient of fluctuation of energy, they will ask you to coefficient of steadiness. So this is the, you can find out also coefficient of steadiness. Coefficient of steadiness. For the coefficient of steadiness, you must have to calculate the coefficient of fluctuation of energy also, because this is inversely proportional to the coefficient of fluctuation of the energy. So this is the coefficient of fluctuation of energy, Ce. Okay. So this is inversely proportional. So if in the question it is asking find out the coefficient of steadiness, then you have to use this formula. Okay. And you can write it as so this is not the, so now there is another term, that is coefficient of steadiness. Coefficient of steadiness, that is equal to 1 upon coefficient of fluctuation of the speed. This is inversely proportional to the coefficient of fluctuation of speed. Okay. Sometimes they will ask you to find out the coefficient of steadiness, so that formula you must apply. So this is 1 upon coefficient of fluctuation of the speed. Okay, this is not Ce, this is Cs. Okay. So you have seen that area, positive area above the T mean line, that is considered as positive area, and area below the T mean line considered as negative area. Are you getting my point? So here I can write that positive area means above T mean line, area above T mean line, area above T mean line, T mean line, and negative area means area below T mean line, area below T mean line, T mean line. Okay, so this is the general thing you must remember. And what is the fluctuations of energy? You can see here I have written that E maximum minus E minimum, so you can call it as the fluctuation of the energy, fluctuation of energy, fluctuation of energy, delta E, because we have seen fluctuation of energy is equal to delta E, denoted as delta E. But if you want to write down the maximum fluctuation of energy, so maximum means E max minus E min. Okay, E min. So this is the maximum fluctuation of energy. Okay, but generally fluctuation of energy is denoted as delta E. But if you want to find out the maximum fluctuation of energy, that would be considered as the delta E maximum. Now one important thing you must remember, you can see here there are the area, you can see in the diagram. Let me draw the diagram so it would be easy to understand. You can see here there are an area. This is positive area, and this is area, this is also the area. So you can see here the sum of all the positive areas. I am again repeating that sum of all the positive area, sum of all the positive area above the T mean line is equal to sum of all the negative area below the T mean line. You must remember this equation. When we will use it in the numerical questions, it would be easy to understand. So I'm just writing here that sum of all positive sum of all positive sum of all positive area about T mean line is equal to sum of all negative area below T mean line below T mean line. Okay, so this one thing you must remember that. Okay, now one more thing that you must remember that, however, I already told you that W cycle is equal to T mean multiply theta. The theta may be 2 pi, theta may be 4 pi, depend upon the number of rotations for the in one cycle. Okay, number of rotation of the crank in one cycle. Okay, if you want to calculate the maximum fluctuation of energy, next topic is maximum fluctuation of energy. Write down the next topic, that is maximum fluctuations of the energy. Maximum fluctuation of energy. How can you calculate? This would be delta E maximum. I already told you the maximum fluctuation of energy is denoted as delta E maximum, and that is equal to E maximum minus E minimum. E maximum minus E minimum, and you can write E is equal to half I omega square. This is the rotational energy of the flywheel. Okay, this is the rotational energy of the flywheel, because the flywheel is having in complete rotations, is having rotation with an omega angular velocity. So you can write the rotational energy, rotational kinetic energy. So that is half I omega square. When we write that half mv square when the body is in a linear motion, so we can write half I omega square similarly when the body is in rotational motion. So this is half I is constant, you all know that. So this would be omega maximum square minus omega minimum square. Okay, this is the formula. Okay, and you can write this formula also, and you can, when you expand this, you will get half I, this is omega max plus omega min, multiply omega max minus omega min. Okay, I can expand this square, will get this. Now you can see here, when I divide it by 2, I have to multiply it by 2, yes or no? If I have to divide it by omega, I have to multiply it by omega. Are you getting my point? 2 omega you must have to divide in the denominator, and 2 omega you must have to multiply with these equations. And finally, what is the intention for multiplying and dividing by 2 omega? You can see here, this will make omega mean. Are you getting my point? This is making, here I am just explaining you, this is completely omega mean. Are you getting my point? Or you can call it as the omega, simple omega. Simple omega means the mean value. Okay, and this is nothing but the coefficient of fluctuation of the speed, Cs. Okay, so what is the thing? Half I omega and 2 will be cancelled out here. So finally we will get the maximum fluctuation of energy, delta E maximum. When you solve this, we'll get a maximum fluctuations of energy. So that would be I omega square. That is very important from the numerical perspective. You have to use this formula in each and every question. So you must remember this. I have explained this formula in detail. If Cs is not given, only omega max and omega minimum is given. So you can apply this relation. Okay. If Cs is given, you can apply this equation basically. So I hope you will understand this topic completely. That is the fluctuations of the energy.